Hello everybody, welcome to week 1 update for my no spend month. Originally I'd said I wasn't sure how or if I was going to update you, but I have since decided that I'm going to do weekly updates. So October 1st started on a Thursday, so the week will end on a Wednesday, and then I want to do weekly updates till the end of the month. And several reasons for this. One of them is I really don't feel like anything like this is out there. I want to share the highs and the lows and pretty much just everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because there are a lot of things that happen in a no spend month and how to get over them, all that kind of thing. Also, I don't really feel that anybody else out there, at least from what I can tell, is doing a true no spend, which is what we do, where we don't even go to the grocery store at all. Like, all we do is pay our bills and we buy gas to get to work. That is it. So I feel like that's necessary, honestly. So I want to share a lot of details with you, especially with the food and emotions and those types of things. So if this isn't your thing, I totally get that, and that's fine. But there are people out there who are either doing a no spend, and we all need to support each other, or they're going to be doing a no spend and kind of just what to expect. So that's kind of my thinking behind doing the weekly updates on that. So let me get started with the very first thing, with week 1. If you want to know how my week 1 went, I'm going to show you right here. You guys, I totally ate my bar. On day 2, I couldn't take it. I was so grumpy. We had such a rough start that, yeah, I completely ate my bar already. This is my one and only treat, so I'm happy. I'm not worried about it. If I need another treat, I'm just going to end up making it. But yep, no shame. I completely 100% ate my feelings. Then a good thing that happened is I was updating my freezer inventory and switching some things around, and I found a Culver's chocolate custard in there as well. So that was a really, really great surprise. I feel like the universe was giving me a sign like, yeah, you need this, as well as good things happen, right, during a no spend month. So this has probably been in there a few weeks. It was still totally fine. But I have to say, after coming off a no sugar month, this was not as enjoyable or satisfying as my bar was. It really wasn't. I preferred my bar. But yes, I had 2 treats in the first few days of my no spend week in my month, and that's just how it goes. We have never had this rough of a start ever for any of our other no spend months, and you just got to deal with it. So that's how I dealt with it. I'm really happy now, and I'm all good. So let me show you, let's start with food and my planner. So here is the planner, and let me show you the tracking. So here I'm just using my little star stickers. As you can see, I've got my 7 on there. I haven't put my 1 for today, but I will. And then let's go to October and show you how the monthly meal plan is coming. Okay, a couple things with this. I've made a few changes. I'm still checking off when we're having something. But now I am circling things that we've had that are really good, and I want to add them into our normal rotation, especially with the new recipes that we're trying. So day 1, I am super grumpy. I did not make a smoothie on day 1, which everyone was fine. We just had leftover breakfast stuff. But the smoothie challenge, at least for me, it's not really a fail, because my goal with the smoothie challenge is to correlate with the no spend month and the freezer and pantry challenge. I really just want to use up a whole bunch of stuff in my freezer, and so that's why I'm doing a smoothie challenge. It's not because I don't feel bad that I missed a day, if that makes sense. All the other days have been going well with the smoothie challenge. I will say that my boys were not satisfied with only a smoothie, so I ended up having to start adding in a baked good, whatever that is. So I've made so far like muffins, baked donuts, bars, things like that. So what I do with breakfast, my boys leave at different times of the morning, and some early, some late. I mean, they have different schedules, and I try, but I never really know what their schedules are first thing in the morning. So how I do that and manage that is when I'm making dinner, I'm also thinking about what we're having for breakfast. Because with the smoothie challenge, I'm not only using the frozen fruit, but also my fresh things that I need to use up before they spoil. That is done on a daily basis. What do I need to use tomorrow morning so it won't go bad? And that's how I am managing the smoothies and everything else. I will have to say that so far, I think that our favorite smoothie is the orange juice sunrise smoothie. And our favorite baked good so far has been my baked pumpkin donuts. So just a little FYI if you care about that. But we've had one really terrible smoothie that I tried a new recipe. It was nasty. And everything else has been really good. And I've been surprised that my boys have been as excited as they are. Like they're asking me now every night, what's for breakfast? What's our smoothie tomorrow? So that's kind of cool. Dinners, again, so grumpy day 1 and day 2 that I completely threw the menu out the window. I did not even feel like having what I had planned. So we needed comfort food. Our comfort food for some reason seems to be Mexican. So we had bean burritos that weren't even on this monthly plan. But that's okay because we were all happy and felt satisfied after eating that. I also, with my buffalo chicken spaghetti squash, I ended up using 2 spaghetti squashes for that instead of 1. So already day 1, I'm like straight out of the gate, the meal plan is not working. It's working, but it's all amuck. But I feel like because one thing didn't work out, another thing will always work out. Like I'm not worried. And we have everything that we need. We have plenty of food, so it's going to all be good. I would have to say that our favorite dinner so far has been pumpkin coconut curry chicken. Yum. Oh, that is so delicious that is going into our regular rotation. And then for the weekend, we had, I think, 8 people over at different times to eat. And I'm just going to keep it real. There is a moment that I had where I remember the thought crossed my mind. Oh no, please stop eating so much food because I can't go to the grocery store this month. Of course, I didn't tell them that. That was just something that I was thinking. I had a little moment of anxiety, but it went away. And again, I know that we're going to be fine. We'll have everything that we need. But those are real emotions and those things happen. I think with me having so much anxiety and being so grumpy, this actually was pretty much these first few days. It wasn't just the first day. I was exhausted, number 1, because I had to run all my errands September 30th evening. And just the stress of our car really took a bigger toll on me than I thought. And I think it's because dropping a huge wad of cash like that right before you go into a no-spend month, it felt counterproductive to me. I just felt like no matter how much we saved in the month, we were just spinning our wheels and we weren't making any progress. Plus, I'm a saver at heart. And so I don't care what I have to spend money on. I just don't enjoy it. I just really don't. With the Dave Ramsey system, we had the money. It was allotted for car repairs. But that doesn't mean I have to be happy about it, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not happy about it. And so I think those were just the reasons behind my feelings. But it's real. It was a rough start. My husband did want me to tell you that he calls you my crew, which I don't even know where he gets that from, but I don't call you that, but I think it's kind of funny. So he said to tell you on day 1, he missed lunch, and so he was really, really hungry. And he was starting to pull into Chick-fil-A, and then he remembered that it was no spend, and so he didn't. So that's those moments like that, not earth-shattering, but those are the kinds of things and the decisions that we and you will need to make during a no-spend month. It's those little decisions to not spend money is what's going to make you successful. So here on day 1, I'm super grumpy. My husband is almost forgetting that we are doing a no-spend month. I mean, it was a rough start. I can't lie about that. It was really rough. We've never had this kind of a terrible start before to our no-spends. But we're all good and we're doing fine. Now, okay, so that's the menu. Our food, I would have to say we have about half of our fruits and vegetables, the fresh ones, left in the fridge. So now it's going to be a battle for me to use it all up before it gets spoiled. And our bananas, for some reason, I had bought 2 bunches of bananas and they went brown really, really fast. So unfortunately, we weren't able to eat those fresh. They're now in the freezer to be used for some other things. And I had 2 things that did get spoiled. That was 2 clementines, which are small oranges, and a thing of canned pears that was open. And that really was more from September that I just didn't end up using. The breakfast casserole that we had here that I made, I told you that we had like 15 to 18 eggs. Of course, a breakfast casserole takes a lot of those. And it was planned, but we only have 6 eggs left. So week 1, we've got 6 eggs left. I'm not worried about it because we just don't eat a ton, but you know, that's the status on that. Okay, let me show you the week, how it's looking. So a couple things, I showed you my stickers right here to mark the days. I just hand wrote in what day that we were on. And I started tracking my emotions for the no spend. As you can see, it's pretty rough those first 4 days. I was crying, angry, grumpy. It's real. It's real over here, folks. Okay, so I'm checking off each day with these stickers. It's just check marks. I just had these lying around and I'm loving using them up. So I really like those. I'll show you those in just a moment. And then you've seen this where I was using the longer labels of these to do my dinners. And that ended up, I just ran out is what happened. And so I started using these smaller ones. As you can see, it's really squishy on the writing, but it's working. And then because I needed to add more for the breakfast and to kind of plan daily for breakfast instead of where I do the dinners, I'm doing that every few days. I needed some kind of separation. So that's why I'm doing a pink sticker for breakfast and then orange for a dinner. And so the pink stickers for the breakfast are really more of a tracking what we're eating for the next morning or what we did eat. So it's a little bit different on how I'm planning our breakfast. And here's the second week. And then I still need to write some things down that I need to use up. But here's these extra stickers that were planned that I didn't use, and this is how I just keep them with the storage. And then more emoticons. Here I am. I didn't write down our breakfast this morning yet, but we had peach cantaloupe smoothie. That was pretty good. So that's how my weeks are looking. I don't think I showed you this, but when I have my monthly plan right here, what I do is on the forwarding month, I have the Erin Condren zip pouch here. This is probably going to freak some people out, but I actually split the holes so I can just pop it in and out each month. So I only have to move it once a month. And then I don't keep a lot of stickers in here, as you can see, but if I have something that I'm using daily, that's what I will end up keeping with the pouch. So these are going to be my no spend stickers that I use every day. So here's those fluorescent hole reinforcements. These are the emoticon stickers that I'm using. These are also Sticko brand that I don't have in the packaging. And then here's the stars that I have on the monthly tracking at the front. These are called Jelly Stars. And these are pretty widely available. I think they have these at almost every store, Target, Walmart, all those kinds of places. These are going to be a little bit more hard to find if you like those. Again, I think I just had these. I've had them for a while. I probably got them on sale. These are just called Very Inspirational, are those check marks. So that's really all I keep in there for my monthly stickers, but they are very handy and accessible right here in the pouch. And so that is, I think, all the changes for my planner. And then let me show you how I have managed our money situation. I told you that I was going to move our money to checking, or from checking to savings. So in a no spend month, of course, you're going to have to pay your bills. So the only thing that we had to pay this week was our Apple Music, and that was just an auto pay. So after that happened, I moved all the rest to savings except for $2. So just, I don't know why. I just feel like I feel comfortable just having just a couple dollars in there instead of like 2 cents. And then for my personal one, I don't have any bills or anything, but I was able to move all of my money also over to my personal savings account. My husband, he has his own checking account, as you know, and his own personal savings account as well. I'm not his mother, I'm his wife. So he hasn't changed anything over yet. I don't know if he will, and I don't really care. The point is he's not spending it, and that's really all I care about. He is very supportive in that area. The other things that we've spent money on this month or this week is my husband had to get gas in his car to get to work, so that's a necessity. And then I had a medical appointment. Some of mine are paid with insurance, and then other ones I have to do self-pay, and we have a health savings account reimbursement. So I had to pay for that one, and that was a need, and that was allotted for, so that doesn't count against a no spend. And then my planner, my personal planner, I showed you this before. I usually keep several, anywhere between 1 to 4 of my envelopes in here, depending on what I need for the week. As you can see, it's completely empty. I have moved everything over, and I don't foresee that I will need to have, except for I have one more medical thing coming up in a couple weeks. But other than that, my grocery tab usually pretty much lives in here. It's hardly ever in this except for a no spend month, but it'll just remain empty. So that's how my planner is looking for my Dave Ramsey envelope system in there. And then my cash envelopes. This is going to be a personal choice. I had some envelopes that had some money in there. I made the decision for myself to zero them out and move it into my savings. You don't have to do that, but I felt like it was kind of a use it or lose it. I hadn't used it. I didn't have a need in the foreseeable future to use up the money, and so that's just what I have done. I did tell you that, here's my grocery one, by the way, that is hardly ever in there except for once a year. And all the other ones I just cleared out. I did need to keep my pet one fully funded, which I mentioned, and then my gardening one as well. So these are the cash sinking funds that I have in here. All my other cash envelopes, sinking fund type things that are larger, those are in my personal savings account, and I've already moved over that money. So those are the only ones that are funded. And then I have a savings tab right here. This is where when I clearanced out all of my dividers that I didn't need, this is where I put the money. I normally don't have any money in this one, but I have had a use for it at different times. Sometimes I'll have an extra like $1 bill until I work all these other, the math out in the cash envelopes. So that's where I keep this. So it's normally doesn't have this much money in it, but I'm not tempted to spend this. If you feel like you would be tempted, I guess I would recommend that you would actually go to the bank and deposit it into your savings account. But it's just going to stay here and it'll be fine. I'm going to keep this in here, and then when November rolls around, I will just take out the cash money from the bank that I will need for my envelopes minus this amount, which I believe, if I remember correctly, is like $147. So that's what I have here in my savings tab in my cash envelope storage. So that's how that is all working. And then at the end here, I'm just going to share with you what I feel like is the most valuable product to have in your home during a no spend month, and that is this Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. It's just a very non-toxic, olive oil, versatile soap to have. And the reason I would recommend this is because sometimes if you run out of something, it might be a need, but if you have something like this, you'll be able to alleviate having to go to the store. You can use this for any beauty, hygiene, cleaning product out there. I make our laundry soap out of this on a regular basis, so as you can see, I don't have a lot left. But you can wash your face with this, or your hands, your body wash, shampoo, all of that you can make out of this Castile soap. You can also do anything with your house, so you can mop your floors with it, wash your windows, clean your toilets. They even say you can use this as an aftershave and a mouthwash and brushing your teeth. I don't know about that. I might draw the line at that one, but pretty much anything like that. You can wash your dog with this, so I feel like this is well worth having in your home. This bottle right here is about $15, which is kind of an expensive upfront cost that may not be. Other people have no problem spending that on beauty and hygiene and cleaning products, but for me that's a little bit expensive, but this is highly concentrated. I've had this bottle for several years, and as you can see, I'm just now getting to the end. So that's just my recommendation for a no spend month. Anyway, I think that's the wrap up so far of this week. I hope this has been helpful. So, in a nutshell, super rough week. We've never had this bad of a beginning, but I feel like we overcame it pretty well. So, looking forward, I'm hoping that the second week is a little bit more peaceful. So, I will talk to you guys again in a week for the second week update. Thanks for watching.